So the next step according to the plans is to make the undercarriage and the wheels, and then to install them onto the model. So this is where I'm going to suggest a slightly different order of things, because I'm going to paint the wheels, and of course you don't have to do that, and if you're not going to do that, then you probably don't need to worry about this. But so that means I'm going to build the wheels first, and I'll worry about the undercarriage a bit later. The part about the undercarriage, though, I think you should think about too, because according to the instructions here, the undercarriage goes on the bottom of the model, and that goes underneath here. The undercarriage will basically fit into those two slots, and that's actually going to make access to the underside of the plane here a little bit difficult with the undercarriage on. So I'm going to suggest that even if you want to build the undercarriage according to the instructions right now, put the wheels on, but I wouldn't put them in place. I'd leave installing the undercarriage probably until almost the very end. It just makes a bunch of other things a little easier. Also, from my point of view, I plan to paint. I'm going to paint the fuselage here, try and make it a little bit pretty, make it look a little like the real thing. I'm not going to go overboard, but I'm going to paint the front part here, including this part around here, again, where the undercarriage fits onto the model. So I'm going to paint that. I don't want the undercarriage getting in the way. It makes it quite difficult to paint. It's a lot easier to paint without that stuff in the way. So again, you know, if you're going to paint, then leave the undercarriage off. Even if you're not going to paint, I'd say you could build it, but don't install it and glue it in place until we've got all of the other little bits, including the electronics inside the model, ready to go. So what we have here is the wheels. The wheels are pretty straightforward. There are 6 pieces of balsa wood here that we're going to laminate together, and then fascinatingly, and I didn't realize what that was for until I got to this, there's these 2 rubber O-rings, that fairly large ones, that come in a little bit of box of bits and bobs here. These are actually the tires of the wheels. So so again, it's a question of are you going to paint or not? I'm actually going to assemble and laminate the wheels, and probably do some sanding to make them to shape them and make them look good before I actually install the O-rings. And also, these are the brushes that will basically let the wheels run freely on the undercarriage here, which on the axle here, which goes on the undercarriage. So it's a bit of a step-by-step process. In the plan, it simply shows it as, well, it says step 4, after assemble cowling, which was step 3, and here's the cowling, which we've just finished. There's step 4, assemble the upper and lower wing, is what the instructions say. It's actually a typo, clearly, because step 5 is also assemble the upper and lower wing. So step 4 probably should say assemble the wheels and the undercarriage. And so assemble the wheels and the undercarriage is shown as 4 photographs, putting the wheels together, and then building the frame and installing the axle and the wheels. I would say we split that in 2. I'm going to do photograph 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is basically, 1, 2, and 3 actually. Get the wheel base together, paint that, then put on the tires and the brushes, and then set that aside and leave finishing off the rest of the undercarriage until I get to the very end, after installing all of the radio control wires and things like that, because otherwise that'll just get in the way. So what I've decided to do, I will post it at the beginning of the video, so if you get to this point here now, you've already seen it, but I've only just figured out that I want to do that, is I'm going to actually build a sort of a modified build order of this model to show things that should happen slightly in a different order to how they're shown in the instructions here. It's only slight amendments, but this is one of the key ones in getting the wheels and the undercarriage in place. It's all described nicely and clearly with the step-by-step instructions, but the steps probably should go in a different order to make the overall build of the model come together. So that's what I'm going to do now. I won't run through this. I'll probably just show you some key shots on the way through the process. Building the wheels is actually pretty straightforward. So I'll drop back in when I have cut out the wheels and basically put them together for the lamination. So I thought I'd just show you how the wheels come together. So what I've done is I've assembled one, and this is it here. It's like a little biscuit actually. Basically the brush goes in the middle here, one piece on the outside, one piece on the outside, and then the tire, this rubber piece, goes around there like that. So that shows why I'm going to want to do this step by step. So basically what you do is you take the brush and feed it through one of these pieces here. It's a little tight fit. I found I needed to clean the hole out just a little bit. If you try and force that brush through the hole there, it can actually tend to split the wood. So same old rule, don't force it. Maybe try just cleaning out the hole just a little bit. It probably should have been cut just a touch bigger. And what happens here is that the pieces go together like this. This piece in the middle, actually you never see that. That's I'm sure that's just got holes cut out of it just for weight purposes. It's for structure, but it's you never actually see it. What ends up happening is that this piece is slightly smaller than this larger piece. So when you put the larger piece, then the smaller piece, then the larger piece, effectively what you've got is a rim where the tire is going to fit around there and kind of basically slot into the rim here. So I'm just going to disassemble both of those wheels, glue it together, and then I'm going to be painting. So as I said, I'll leave the painting piece and put that in a separate video that you can watch if you choose to, because you don't need to paint. This looks quite nice by itself, and you could use it like that. If that's how you want your model to look, kind of raw with the wood, then that'll look quite nice, and that's all you need to do. And if you want to paint, I'll show you that in a separate video. So the wheels are very straightforward.